Good morning. Today is Template Tuesday. I'm just checking really quick. Yep, live on Facebook. Today is Template Tuesday. It's April 11th of 2023. My name is Debbie and I'm from craftyourcreations.blogspot.com. So today I wanted to come to you with I usually come to you every other Tuesday right now. Eventually I might try and do every Tuesday, but right now it's every other Tuesday. And I come to you with a new template and I show you a couple cards and then you get, you'll see all the instructions out there. Normally I do a little bit different ordering special with the templates. Today, what I am offering is I have a mystery box special that's going on right now. So instead of getting the templates or the supplies to make these cards, you'll have all the dimensions and everything out there on the Facebook page. It'll be in the descriptions right along in the description with this video. And I am offering a mystery box ordering special. So if you order, and this is all before shipping and tax. So if you order $30, you get a $50 mystery box sent to you. If you order $75, you get a $100 mystery box sent to you. If you order 150, you get, or 100, you get a $150 mystery box. And then if you do over 250, you'll get a $300 mystery box. And the mystery boxes are packed full of retired product. This is a way of me cleaning out my retired product and saying thank you to all my customers. But you'll get like bundles, stamp sets, DSP, bling, embossing folders, you know, any other little things I might find that I can toss in there. You will need to use the link that's in this video, the shopping link, because it has the host code embedded with it. So if your order is over the 150, you will not earn host rewards because you're going to get a box full of lots of goodies in it. So keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I can always help you. If you do go to place your order and it's over 150 and it's asking you to use your stamp and rewards, then that means you didn't use the correct link. You got to make sure you use that link that I've put with this video. So let's go ahead and I am going to switch to my hands here and replace the spotlight. And there we are. Now you don't see me as much as you will see the project. So here is template number 3. If you haven't been following along, so here's my little container, and eventually this will fill up and I will either come up with something else or I'll just have several of these, but I have been, here was template number 2, here was template number 1. Now I'm keeping a card in here too, just so I can kind of see what I did. And I make my templates out of whatever scrap paper I have. So here's template number 3. It's going to open like this. And then I always write everything on the back. Now I'm going to show you 3 different samples. We're going to make 2 of them. And they can vary a little bit on your layers here, depending on, like if you're using cardstock and you want a different color to back it. And that's where I'm going to show you the difference here. Excuse me. So this card right here is from my bonus class for my monthly club this month. And I will have a link also in the description that talks about that you can find info on my monthly club. And I'll talk a little bit about it as we go through. But this is the bonus class and it opens like this. And then you can write your greeting here. Isn't that cute? Of course, I've decorated the envelope on this one, but this is the fancy Flora DSP that's going away. So we're using that in monthly club for the bonus class. Now, for our monthly club, just the regular class, we're using the Dainty Delight stamp set. And here is how I did this one. Just stamped a little bit on the inside there. And just stamped and colored with the Stampin' Blends with the Balmy Blue, and I used Soft Succulent for the green and some So Saffron, which So Saffron is and Soft Succulent are going to be going away. And then I used the like the hashtag looking embossing folder that's in that basic 3D embossing folder pack. It's an online exclusive. There's 3 of them. There's one that's I call it a hashtag looking one. It's been my favorite. And there's a dots and flowers. Okay, So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. I think we will do, and here's my other sample, and I think I've shown this one, but maybe not, but here's the other one I did. This was last month's bonus class, the basic border stamp set. Again, stamped and colored, opened up on the inside, and I just stamped down there in the corner with it. But this is why I say basic layers here, but on this one with the DSP, I added more layers. So this layer here on the dimensions are an option depending on, like what you're using. If you're using DSP versus stamping, these layers are the same because this would be the piece you're stamping on versus a piece of DSP. So it kind of just depends on what you're making. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull back in this one here. And then I'm going to go through and read off the dimensions to you also. So the card base is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece. And this is So Saffron. This is what's going to be retiring. I decided to start using up some of my papers that I know are going away. And then what we're going to do, we have 2 1 inch by 5. Now, in this case, it's cardstock. In my description of stuff there, it says it could be cardstock or DSP, because like on this one, it's DSP, but these are a little bit shorter because I had a different layer underneath there. You'll see when we go through that one. Then we have, now this is actually, I guess you could call what is the card front and the inside. And this is 2.5 by 10.5 and scored at 5 1/4. And this is going to lay down right there. And then we have 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is going to go here because we're going to stamp on it. Whoops, let me back up. This is going to go on first, our layer. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Excuse me for that little mistake. And then this goes on top here. And then this is our inside piece. So this piece here is 2 1/4 by ruler. Best to just measure it so you know. This one is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then we have 2 by 5. 2 by 5 1/4, because I went edge to edge. If you wanted it to be a border all the way around, you could cut this at 5 and shorten it. I just kept it so it was snug all the way like this. And then our inside piece is 2 1/4 by 5, 2 1/4 by 5, which is what I thought, but I didn't want to rattle off the wrong instructions there. Okay, so let's do some assembly here. And I'm going to, now you could put a full sheet here if you don't like to deal with like little 1 inch pieces that you have to line up. You easily could do it as a full sheet. I cut it this way because when I was doing the DSP, I didn't really want to waste a full sheet of DSP on it. So we're just lining up. So we have our border, top and sides, and then we're going to do the same thing. You just want to make sure you've got either embossed or debossed sides up. I'm using mono glue here just because this has got some, the way it's embossed, you want to get some good adhesive to stick there. So I used mono glue here. And I'm one that goes back and forth between mono glue and adhesive. I tend to use both. So let's go ahead and attach this piece to what will be our card front. Like this. Now, the last time I did one of these, my husband called several times in between it. And my daughter-in-law was watching, and she texted him and said, "Stop calling her." This time I didn't put it on airplane mode, which some people say they do. I just turned my volume all the way down. So if it does ring, we won't hear it anyway. So that should work. I've never had the problem before, but I did that time. Now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the front. And that's our inside piece. So we won't And this lines up to the blue. I didn't line it up to the edge of the card. You could cut it a little bit longer and line it up that way. So there we have all of that going on. Now let's do some stamping. I stamped this one in basic gray. I just wanted it really subtle. So that's why you could use Memento Black if you wanted, but I use the basic gray. Sometimes I like to stamp in that because then you get a very subtle look going on here. And that's kind of what I was going for. We have several different like little fun flowered stamps that you can use for this. I used this one, but I think today for this, I'm going to go ahead and use the same one. I really like how it stamps. I think it looks really pretty. It lays out really nice with what we did. So I kind of go off the edge. And then I came down a little bit. And over again. And that's kind of what we have going on. And then I used the Happy Birthday from the Happiness Abounds stamp set. And you could use any phrase you wanted. And I'm going to slide this down just a little bit here, just so I don't get try not to get my head in the top of the picture there. Okay, there we go. So there's those two right there, already done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to color with some Balmy Blue, some So Saffron, and Soft Succulent Stampin' Blends. And this is going to be really quick to color with because we don't really have that much to color. I did the flowers in blue, in the Balmy Blue. Of course, you could pick any color palette you wanted to here. Because there's not a whole lot of flowers to color here. That's why I said it's a very subtle, kind of springy looking card, I guess you could say. Of course, today here, if you're in the Pacific Northwest where I am, it is pouring down, drizzly, miserable day outside. It's right awful out right now. Wasn't sure Cooper's my chocolate lab, wasn't sure he even wanted to make the trek across the yard. I said, come on, let's run. Because it was pouring down when I was getting ready to come out here. And I'm just doing these little tiny flowers in the So Saffron. And you're barely coloring. I mean, you're really just putting a little bit of a dot on them. Not much there. And then we'll color the leaves in Soft Succulent, which is one of the in colors that is going to be going away. But we have 5 new in colors that will be coming in. I'm just making sure, checking really quick here that I don't have any comments. I keep hearing my computer making noises, so just wanted to check. If you happen to randomly just run across me watching this, make sure you, oh my gosh. I can't believe this is happening again. I totally apologize. And I did turn everything down, so I'm not sure what I would have bumped on my phone. Hopefully he does not call back again. I'm sure it was Drew. I am so sorry. Now I am going to be putting it on airplane mode. That's how I'll be trying it next time. Now, if you want some of these to be a little bit different color, you could go back over them again. Okay. Then I took the Balmy Blue and I just did some light brushing of the Balmy Blue around the edges of this. I just didn't want it to be totally white here. Okay. And we have that part done. Let's close this up. Oh, before I close this up, I'm also going to take, here, let me clean this really quick because I'm going to take and stamp on the inside. Just down in the corner. Just like that. Okay. And then we will attach this and this to the front. Adhesive. Oh, here we are. Couldn't see it. This will go on your inside, and then you still have room to write, but you have just a cute little different kind of fun fold going on here. So and if you're not, so we have new catalogs that are coming out, and if you're not, if you haven't, if you ordered from me within the last 6 months, you will be getting one in the mail, or if you're in my monthly club, you'll get one in that. If you haven't, let me know. I usually charge $10 for a catalog, but I give you a $10 coupon so that off your first order. So then basically it's free. I'm using the iridescent pastel gems because these are a balmy blue color. And then I was also using some of the other, they call them gold here, but they look clear to me. That's why I pulled these out, because I started using both of these colors in the cards I've been making for the bonus class. I thought they were perfect. And let's put one down there. And there we go. There's our first card right here. What do you think? Slide it over here so you can see it. Opens up like this. Cute, subtle, springy card. Okay, now let's spring in the one we're going to use the Fancy Flora DSP on. And here's our little envelope that goes with that one. And let's make this one. Now this one has only one more piece. It seems like more. Well, a couple, because we did some stamping there, but not, it just seems like it's more, but it's not really that much more. And we're going to use Fresh Freesia, which is one of the in colors that are going away, but this color is coming back into the revamp. So that's awesome. Okay, so here's my extra piece this time because I wanted to layer this on here. So my dimensions are, whoops, we're going to cut, or this is for our envelope. So our dimensions are all a little bit different, but the base dimensions are up there. So you get the idea, because the base is still the same. This is still 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's just that this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then these are going to be still 1 inch, but they're 1 inch by 5. Yes, because just to adapt for this extra layer we put in. And as you see, I cut our circles out of the center of this because nobody is going to see it. And then this is going to go like this. And like this. And then this card gets put together like that. And somewhere I'm missing a white piece for the inside, but we won't worry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it put together. So let's layer this Fresh Freesia onto the Orchid Oasis. And then we'll add our DSP. So this goes on here. And for these 1 inch strips, it's easier to use the mono glue. And again, we're leaving a little bit of a border. And then we'll add our second one down here at the bottom. Just like that. Okay. And then here, what we're going to do, let's just go ahead and this is going to go on here. We're going to attach this to this. Now, remember, this goes edge to edge, but if you wanted it to be a border all the way around, you could cut this 1/4 of an inch smaller. And I always load the Facebook Live out on YouTube too. So if you happen to see this out on YouTube, make sure you follow YouTube or Facebook or both. Follow my blog. You can sign up for my email list. So if you have a little bit of overhang like I have right here, because I don't want it to overhang, just trim it off. It's just because I'm off just a little bit somewhere. I'm not sure why. But because I know I cut it right, but every one of them I've had to trim just a little bit right there. Okay, so there's that. So now let's go ahead and attach this to the front. Just want to make sure I didn't miss a step. Attaching the ribbon sometimes is always one of those things I think we all have forgotten. I've done it before. I've watched my customers almost do it, but I've caught them because I've been like, watching what they're doing. And then it's like, don't forget your ribbon. It's always the big one. Don't forget the ribbon. So we're going to add, I always add my adhesive and then I go add my piece of ribbon. So let's see, where's our Fresh Freesia ribbon? And this is going to just go right down the center. I mean, really simple. These are really simple to make. I have to say this, once you kind of get your cuts down, it's easy to assemble these. And one, this is a great way to use DSP and a way to stamp with it too. I made some others. Now this one I did cut so we have the border instead of how I did this one side to side. So you can see there is a little bit of a difference. So you can change it up just a little without doing a whole lot to it. Okay, so I'm using the Hello from the Irresistible Blooms, it's called. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that in Fresh Freesia. Just like that. And we will attach, actually, I'm not going to close that. Oh, I don't have my white piece. I'll close it. Somewhere I'm missing my white center piece for this one. I actually took this packet out of the bonus club stacks of stuff that's all cut. So, but I always cut extra, so I should be okay. But it was clearly missing something. Let's add a couple dimensionals here. Dimensionals are my favorites. I order dimensionals every time I place an order. One, it's a filler at the end. If like I'm close to something, then I can just add that little bit of filler. Or it's part of the Stampin' Rewards or something. But yeah, I order dimensionals. I tend to use the minis more than the larger ones. And if I'm using dirt colors, I'll use the black. And again, this is where I used, oh, I apologize. This one, because this is from a different combo. Here we go. I use the In Color Bling on that one. That's right. Different thought process going on when I made this one for Monthly Club. I used the pink ones. You could use the ones that are supposed to be oh, these are supposed to be what color? Now I can't even remember because we have Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, but I'm missing one of the colors here. Pale Papaya. That's this yellow looking one, is like Pale Papaya. I think we'll go with the Fresh Freesia looking ones. They match the best. Let's put a couple up here. Actually, I could use it. There we go. All right. And then you would stamp, like I said, somewhere I'm missing. Oh, here it is. Oh, look at me. I found it. The inside. Let's stamp it. I'm going to use this smaller one this time just to show you the difference. Not that it matters because you could use anything you wanted. So there's that. And then I took and just did a little bit of blending just like this. And then we will attach this to the inside. And that will be our 2 cards today. And like I said, I have the mystery box special out there. If you have any questions, just let me know and I can help you with it. Now, I'm also going to show you how I do the envelopes. I just take and run my mono glue along the edges and a little bit in the center. You just want to make sure you get the edges, and less is more. Don't get too much or you'll have lots of glue seeping out. And I line it up to the fold line of the envelope there. Press down so it's lined up right here, just on that crease. And this is a piece I had left over. I didn't cut it down. You could cut it down if you want to be exact. I just end up then cutting this strip off where you have all this excess, and then you have like a 1.5, depending on how wide your piece was for scraps. And then you just trim around it. And now you have a beautiful envelope that you can put the card in. If you made a whole bunch of these, like with you know, a specific DSP or something, you could put some ribbon around it and give it as a gift. It would be very pretty. But I'll show you how it looks here. As the bonus class for this month, we made a little box to go with all of the cards. So here's the one we just did. But doesn't this just look so pretty? Wouldn't you love to get that in the mail? With the envelope all decorated? I think it's so pretty. Okay, let me bring back in. So there was the first, or the one we just did. Here is the stamped version doing this template. And then here was the other sample I had. And I had a couple more too. I should have brought them over. This was with the flowered embossing folder. It's probably hard to tell. That comes in that 3D pack of embossing folders. But another way, I just wanted to show you different versions of how you can do this fun fold with DSP and with stamping. So again, if you have any questions about it, just let me know. Like, share, all those things. You know, I'd love to have you follow me out here on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, Craft Your Creations with Debbie. Share this video. Would love to have it flying all over the place. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day today, even though it is, like I said, pouring down rain here. And I do appreciate you joining me, and I will see you again with Template Tuesday number 4 coming up. Sometimes now I'm numbering them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, right now, but eventually because I have a whole bunch of templates. I just haven't used them all in my videos yet. So eventually we'll be pulling from old templates to make some cards too, because as I tell everybody when I make cards, and especially with my monthly club, that it's easy to pull out an old template. Here, I'm going to take Spotlight Me back off my hands. It's easy to take, there we go. It's easy to take a template and use it again with new DSP or with a new stamp set. And sometimes we don't think about that. Sometimes we always think when we have a new stamp set that means we have to come up with some brand new idea. And it's not always like that. It's easy to use old layouts, old templates. They always come in handy, but just like I'm showing you here, 2 different ways using the same template, but they're both beautiful cards. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a great Tuesday. Today is Taco Tuesday for us. We always go to meet some friends of ours out at Laha in Arlington for Taco Tuesday. So anyway, hope you all have a great day. Thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.